For nearly 7 years, The Elder Scrolls 6 has existed more as a myth than an actual reality to us. Ever since Bethesda's brief teaser trailer back in 2018, fans have been left in the dark on this game, clinging to scattered hints and industry whispers. And now, a well-known leaker known as Xstasis claims to have fresh details about the long-awaited RPG, including its setting, gameplay, features, and even a potential showcase later this year. This has all been really strange and kind of confusing to dissect, but Xstasis also mentioned that some of these, if not most of the leaks and speculation, come from Colt Eastwood, and I've heard some others say that the original information might have originated from a 4chan post. Of course, it's an exciting prospect to think we could actually see something from this game this year, but given Bethesda's recent track record of drawn-out development cycles and the often questionable accuracy of leaks, it's hard to really not approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. The supposed details around these leaks paint a picture of an expansive world set primarily in Hammerfell and High Rock, regions previously explored in The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. According to the leaks, players can expect at least a dozen large cities, naval battles, shipbuilding reminiscent of Starfield, underwater exploration, and the return of Skyrim's iconic dragons. In these leaks, there's even talk of fortress and village building mechanics alongside a more fluid progression system that ditches traditional classes in favor of activity-based skill advancement. On paper, according to this supposed leaked information about the game, it sounds like their next evolution of the franchise, bigger, bolder, and more dynamic than ever before. But here's the thing, we've been here before. The gaming industry has seen its fair share of ambitious promises that never really materialized, and The Elder Scrolls 6 is shaping up to be a fertile ground for the same kind of hype-fueled speculation from the fanbase. While of course it's tempting to get swept up in the excitement of all of this information, it's equally important to question whether these leaks are grounded in reality in some way or simply wishful thinking dressed up as insider knowledge. I know for myself personally, when I first saw this information pop up on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, I got really excited. I mean, how can you not when you've been waiting for this game forever? But videos from the likes of Mr. Matty Plays and Juicehead kind of brought me back down to earth, and I kind of just want to go into all of this and go over my thoughts about it. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Elder Scrolls news. Also, if you're interested, consider becoming a member on the channel for the ability to write in and have your comments featured in upcoming videos, early access on every upload, members only videos, your name in the credits of every single upload, and access to the Discord community. To understand why skepticism is warranted in this situation, it's worth reflecting on how often leaks and rumors surrounding the Elder Scrolls franchise have failed to materialize in the past. The internet has been flooded with supposed insider information about Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 ever since its 2018 teaser, and yet here we are, nearly 7 years later, with nothing official beyond the initial announcement from Bethesda. Every few months a new leak emerges claiming to reveal groundbreaking features or concrete release timelines for these games, yet time and time again the rumors have fallen flat for the most part. These latest rounds of leaks follow some of the same patterns here. The claim that the Elder Scrolls 6 will feature naval battles, shipbuilding, and underwater exploration sounds exciting and very plausible, but also suspiciously familiar. Several rumors before Starfield's release hyped up its expansive planetary exploration, but obviously many players found the final experience in the game repetitive and overall lacking some sorts of depth. Naval battles and ship customization, while of course intriguing, raises several red flags. Even if Starfield shipbuilding was one of its more polished features, it didn't fundamentally change the gameplay. It's hard to believe that the Elder Scrolls 6 would suddenly transform into a seafaring adventure without drastically altering the core Elder Scrolls experience. These kinds of features often sound impressive in these leaks, but end up being scaled down or cut entirely before release. Now there's some hope that Bethesda could step up their game here in their next game, and I hope that they do, because these supposed leaks do sound pretty cool. But the idea of explorable islands off Hammerfell's coast and vibrant underwater environments feel equally dubious in this situation. Bethesda has never been known for creating compelling aquatic content, and the idea that they've suddenly mastered this aspect of world building seems more like wishful thinking than a reliable insight. Of course, until Bethesda Game Studios themselves confirms these features, it's wise to treat these claims as just another chapter in the long history of the Elder Scrolls rumors that never really came to fruition. But honestly, it does all sound really cool, so if Bethesda does decide to go in this direction, I would be down for it, and it'd be interesting to see how they could transform the Elder Scrolls series into some of what they're saying it could be. Let me know down in the comments if you think these rumors and leaks are true, or are you skeptical about them as well. The supposed setting of Hammerfell and High Rock is one of the more plausible claims in these recent leaks. I mean, this is something that's kind of already assumed by most of the Elder Scrolls fanbase anyways, and Bethesda itself teased Hammerfell as a potential location in the original reveal trailer from 2018, and there have been some other hints at it from an art director's Pinterest page. The geography of Hammerfell, with its expansive deserts, rugged mountains, and cozy coastal cities certainly lends itself to the kind of large, open world that Bethesda excels at creating, and of course this was already in the Elder Scrolls Online. However, the setting alone doesn't make a game compelling. While Hammerfell offers plenty of lore and history to draw from, particularly the story of the Red Guards and their fight against the Thalmor, it's unclear how Bethesda plans to make the region feel fresh and engaging for players. High Rock, known for its feuding kingdoms and magical Breton culture, could provide political intrigue and factional conflicts, but we've heard nothing concrete about how these elements will be integrated into the gameplay of the Elder Scrolls 6. And the claim in these leaks that the game will feature 12 to 13 large cities also sounds overly ambitious for them, especially given Bethesda's track record. Skyrim, of course it's an older game with its sprawling open world, only had a handful of major cities, with many other locations feeling more like large villages than true urban centers. It's also worth considering here how Bethesda has handled city design in Starfield. Despite its promise of expansive worlds, Starfield only really featured 4 truly major cities: New Atlantis, Aquila City, Neon, and Sidonia, with other smaller POIs like Paradiso and Hopetown. Even these, while visually distinct, often felt empty and lacked the bustling, lived-in atmosphere players expected. If Bethesda's struggling to make 4 cities feel vibrant in Starfield, it's kind of hard to believe they'll suddenly succeed in creating over a dozen fully realized cities in the Elder Scrolls 6. Without official confirmation, this claim feels more like wishful thinking than a realistic glimpse at what the game will actually offer for us. It's difficult to imagine here Bethesda would suddenly triple the number of large cities without actually sacrificing detail or falling into the trap of copy-pasting assets, a criticism that of course Starfield faced with its procedurally generated planets. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the setting of Hammerfell and High Rock in the Elder Scrolls 6 and the claims that the game will have 12 to 13 big cities. One of the most eye-catching claims from the leak is the return of dragons, which became synonymous with Skyrim's world and story. Where it makes sense for Bethesda to bring back such an iconic element of the previous game, it also raises questions about how dragons will actually fit into the narrative of the Elder Scrolls 6. In Skyrim, dragons were of course centered to the main quest, tied directly to the lore of the Dragonborn. Will the Elder Scrolls 6 introduce a new mythology to justify their presence, or will they simply be powerful creatures scattered across the world for players to hunt? And then there's the overhaul of the progression system, abandoning traditional classes in favor of a more natural, activity-based leveling system also sounds like a logical evolution here. Skyrim already moved away from rigid classes in the series, allowing players to develop skills based on how they played rather than being locked into specific builds. If the Elder Scrolls 6 expands upon this idea, it could lead to more immersive experiences for the player. But of course, without details on how the system will balance progression and challenge, it's hard to gauge whether it will be a true innovation or just another iteration of what's already been done in the series to this point. Another bold claim in the leaks is the introduction of fortress, village, and settlement building mechanics. While of course Fallout 4 introduced settlement building with moderate success, it also became a point of frustration for many players who felt it detracted from the core RPG experience in the game. If the Elder Scrolls 6 leans too heavily into crafting and building, it risks sidelining the exploration, storytelling, and character development that defines the series. Let me know down in the comments what you think about rumors around dragons, progression, gameplay, and settlement building in the Elder Scrolls 6. Perhaps the most questionable claim, to me at least, in the recent leaks is that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be showcased as early as July 2025. Given the game reportedly only entering full development in late 2023 after the release of Starfield, this timeline seems very optimistic at best. And of course, Starfield had a different development cycle on all the other games because they had to actually set up the entire world, and it took several years of active production before the first substantial gameplay reveal happened for that game. Also, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, stated back in 2023 that the Elder Scrolls 6 was still 5+ years away at that point, placing its potential release closer to 2028 or even later. The idea that Bethesda would be ready to show off significant gameplay just 2 years after entering full production kind of contradicts the studio's usual development patterns. If this happens to be true somehow, it's far more likely that any showcase of the game in 2025 would be another cinematic teaser rather than an actual in-depth look at the gameplay. But I would love an update from Bethesda so we know exactly where this game is at the moment. While of course it's easy to get excited about the prospects of the Elder Scrolls 6, it's worth remembering how often these leaks and rumors turned out to be exaggerated or outright false. Xstasis may have a decent track record when it comes to Xbox related leaks, but even the most reliable insiders can only share what they've heard, not what's guaranteed. Bethesda itself of course has remained silent on these claims, and until the studio provides official confirmation, it's wise to treat everything with caution here. The gaming industry is no stranger to overhyped promises that fail to materialize. is, and the Elder Scrolls franchise is too important to let speculation overshadow reality. Ultimately, the Elder Scrolls 6 will stand or fall based on Bethesda's ability to deliver a polished, innovative, and immersive experience to us players. Whether that includes shipbuilding, naval battles, and a dozen large cities remains to be seen. For now, us fans would do well to temper our expectations, enjoy Skyrim's inevitable next re-release, and wait for something more concrete than internet whispers. But hold the phones everybody, we do have something actually official from Bethesda about the Elder Scrolls 6. After months of silence from the studio regarding the Elder Scrolls 6, the only official update us fans have actually received about the game is a very unexpected one, and it has nothing to do with gameplay or release date. As a part of a Make-A-Wish charity auction, Bethesda is offering the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for someone to become an NPC in the game. The winning bidder will work directly with the developers at Bethesda to design a custom character, ensuring that their presence is immortalized in one of the most highly anticipated RPGs of all time. And this auction is proving to be very popular. It's currently the highest bidding item on the site. When I first checked it, it was around $4,000, and then I checked again, it was at $10,000, and now it's over $85,000. Honestly, it keeps going up so fast that check the screenshot that I put on screen, because I have no idea what this will actually be at by the time I actually edit this video. But it is great to see more raised like this for such a cool charity like Make-A-Wish. While of course this auction is undoubtedly exciting for the lucky winner and all the money raised for charity, it's hard not to see it as a reminder of how little concrete information has actually been shared about the game itself. Since the Elder Scrolls 6 was first teased back in 2018, updates have been very sparse, and Bethesda's focus on Starfield has kept the next chapter of Tamriel firmly in the shadows. Todd Howard's past comments about wanting the game to be the ultimate fantasy world simulator still stands as the closest thing fans have come to a vision of what this project actually might become. For now though, it seems that while one fan might get to walk the streets of Hammerfell as an NPC and a ton of money's getting raised for charity, the rest of us are still waiting for something shown for this game. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Elder Scrolls news. And if you're looking for something else to watch, click one of the videos you're seeing on screen right now. I will see you there. Also, a huge thank you to all the amazing channel members.